Good afternoon. Before I truly begin, I would like to ask that everyone pretend that they are pregnant. Pregnancy, a modest topic, I know. And while you are pregnant, I do apologize to the men out there in advance. But please, feel free to participate as well. And as you are pregnant, please press your hand to your stomach. You feel a light kick, a sign of life from a developing human, an incoming star, a treasure. You find yourself telling your doctor that you don't want him or her, saying that you wouldn't like the way he or she acted, the way he or she thought, the way other people would discriminate him or her. The baby has Down syndrome. So you snuff out the star's radiant beauty, hoping for better luck next time. 90% of America's unborn affected with Down syndrome are aborted. 90% America. Should we be allowed to abort for solely trisomy on chromosome 21? Well, it's a good question, and that's why I'm here today. Let's put it to the four-way test. Question 1, is it the truth? Again, that 90% will never get to see the light of day, let alone feel a mother, a father, a guardian's warm embrace. This not only happens in the United States, but in Great Britain, Iceland, France, and Denmark as well. In Iceland, pregnant women can go to take a test and see whether their child will be affected with Down syndrome. I would like to tell you that this test is only 85% accurate. Should the test come back positive, the woman will abort the child with no second opinion, no genetic counseling. The deed is done. Should the test have been wrong? It's too late now, isn't it? This tragedy occurs today because we, society, have internalized the untruth that people with Down syndrome cannot function well on their own or prove to be beneficial to society. We have subconsciously put them below us in our non-existent social hierarchy. But for what? All because they look different and have to use different methods to do the same things. Does this sound similar to past mistakes that humanity has made? Yes, people with Down syndrome, they have challenges learning. However, we all must remember that academic success does not relate to success in life. Isabel Springmuir is a world fashion designer. Tim Harris is an entrepreneur and motivational speaker. Megan McCormick is the first person with Down syndrome to graduate with honors from a technical college. These 3 people with Down syndrome, these 3 examples are making their mark on the world. They are succeeding. They are dedicated to their goals, just like everyone else who has succeeded in this country, in the world. Their lives matter just as much as everyone else's. Why is it that we try so hard to become perfect when we have already reached the perfection that we are looking for? It is true that milestones people with Down syndrome need to take their time running, walking, rolling over, talking. It is not true that these serve to be limitations later in their lives. Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? No, it's not. I attend church in Chesterland, Ohio, and years ago I had a friend with severe Down syndrome. Of course, the first thing that happened was that children made fun of her and the way she talked, and to no surprise, she would get consistently frustrated. But what no one could mock her for was her spirit. Of her own volition, whenever the church would have a volunteer opportunity, she'd always be the first to raise her hand, whether it be simple childcare or menial cleanup. Her existence inspired me. And it inspires me today, so much so that I joined so many volunteerism groups. I joined National Junior Honor Society. I joined Key Club. In fact, I'm the president this year. I joined Student Council. I'm the president of my class. Had she been aborted, I would have not been able to feel the love that she had shown me. Had she been aborted, the church would not have been able to be blessed by her actions. It's not fair to her or to anyone with Down syndrome. Because of something that cannot be controlled, a chance that life should be stolen, there's no way to know what the unborn could have done, the impact they could have made, the change they could have brought, and the people they could have made smile. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? There are so many things that people say out there about families and children with Down syndrome. They say, hey, this family has a Down syndrome baby, they're probably going to break apart. It's too stressful to take care of someone like that. Statistics say that families with children who have Down syndrome actually have lower divorce rates than families who do not. Other people, seeing other people living and overcoming challenges is so powerful that they themselves become empowered and learn to be compassionate. My friendship is a beautiful example of that. Every time we make eye contact, we hug each other on sight, an example of a shared childhood. People without Down syndrome can go and see these examples outside in the world and see that there's no IQ barrier, there's no trouble with communication. We together can reach further goal points when we erase past prejudices. People with Down syndrome can continue demonstrating their worth, making their mark on the world so that people can know who they are. More friendships like mine can be built just like that, strong and eternal with goodwill in tandem. Is it beneficial to all concerned? Absolutely, yes. Why? Because people with Down syndrome get a chance at life. They get a chance to prove themselves. Everyone knows that we need more people in this world. We have so many problems by ourselves. We have world hunger, the cure to cancer, and of course, let's not forget our national debt problem. Our culture today stresses so much that human life is important. There are no exceptions as to whose lives that we cherish. Aborting a child for solely trisomy on chromosome 21 is not a choice of a sincere heart, a fair mind, a soul of goodwill, nor a spirit of compassion. Thank you.